Hi, we're Destroy the Planet, and I'm Trent,
Mike,
Albert,
and we have a lot of stuff to talk about. Most of you people probably don't know who we are. So, Mike, where you come from?
I hail from Binghamton, New York, and I moved out here in 2006. And last year I started playing in a band with you.
Right on, Albert.
I grew up in Madison, Wisconsin. I've lived UK for a while. Lived in Washington, D.C. Now I'm back in Minneapolis. So Trent and I started talking about this a couple years ago, I think, and finally started playing together, within the last year, and we started recording.
Yeah, I'm from Minnesota. I was actually born in Olivia, Minnesota, but grew up right along the border of Canada in Roseau. And but I lived in Wisconsin for a while, and been in kind of a few bands. But this is something that where it's really ours. I mean, it's our music. This isn't where we're playing covers. We're not doing I feel like I'm the primary songwriter, but we've all contributed to what we're doing here, and so we're based out of Minneapolis now. And as Al mentioned, we started just kind of talking about it about 2 years ago.
Yep.
About 2 years ago, we started talking about what we wanted to do and what we want to put together. And I have we have enough material for 3 albums. And so we kind of started piecing together songs that fit into one album. And then we sadly we weren't gonna have a bass player. we originally thought this was just gonna be a recording project. And then a friend of mine wanted to play bass and on the project, and I kind of just lost interest halfway through, and then once we had the idea planned in our heads of what we wanted the band to be, and we wanted to have a bass player, we put out a Craigslist ad, and we had quite a few people that answered the Craigslist ad. Some pretty unique individuals out there.
That's a good way to put it.
That one of them wanted to live in the house with me, which is fine, but that's not who I was looking for. A roommate. We were looking for a bass player. And then Mike answered our ad, and we were actually over it. We were finished. We were done with looking for a bass player. We were just like, we're just not gonna go through a bass player. But then Mike answered the ad, and we're like, we know this guy.
Yeah.
And
it turned out you knew him.
Yeah, and we knew Mike. We knew Mike's family, and that was a big thing for us. We want to be, there's a big city, so we don't want people that are gonna steal our bikes. So when we have a history with somebody, it felt right. It felt like we could. We never made Mike audition. We're waiting. We're gonna probably do that for the next one.
It's official. You're in the band.
Yeah.
You're in the band. Yeah.
I know this is probationary.
so anyway, Al plays drums. Mike is bass and vocals. Al's gonna start doing vocals. And Al's been doing some guitar lately. But on the record, it's Mike playing bass, Al playing drums, and I'm doing the vocals and guitar. It's a very unique album in the sense that I don't think we can be really. It's clearly hard rock music, but there's elements of metal. There's elements of punk. There's elements of pop in there. I don't think there's a lot of bands like this, like what we do, but we do what a lot of bands do. So there's definitely, you can tell our influences. We talked quite a bit about what we thought it sounded like. What are some of the ones that we came up with?
It's hard to quantify, and you'll play it for someone else, and they're like, "Oh, you sound like this," and I'm like, "No, we don't." So I don't know. I mean, I think hard rock with different elements is a good way to put it.
Yeah, I think the first thing you said is that you thought some of the songs sounded like an Alice Cooper vibe.
A little bit.
Yeah,
a couple of them.
The first studio that we worked with thought we had very much a Megadeth vibe.
You gave me a weird look when I said Alice Cooper.
I did. I like Alice Cooper. It just wasn't what I was going for. But
it doesn't sound like Alice Cooper, but for some reason, I think it might have been some of the lyrics or something.
Well, we had one studio that wanted to work with us because they thought we were a Megadeth thrash band. Which once everybody hears the album, they'll definitely know that we're not anywhere near what I think thrash is. But one person I played for said that it sounds like Faith No More, which I thought was fun. I'm a huge fan of all of the bands I mentioned so far, but Faith No More, I thought they were interesting because they do a whole bunch of different styles of music. So
I think that's a good for maybe a couple of the songs.
Yeah, we're definitely not diverse as far as music genres. We don't really jump from too heavily into different things, but there are ballads. There are there's what's the fastest song BPM? 168.
No, it's faster. A little fast. Yeah, 168.
160. I mean, we have a song that's 168 beats per minute. We have another one that's 72. So, tempo wise, we mix it up. And then Mike had to just join us, like kind of halfway through. Halfway through our developing the band process, but you were there about 3 months before we started actually recording.
Yeah, I thought it was a jazz band, but this has really turned out to be something.
But I think Mike
he still thinks it's a jazz band. We haven't told him.
Mike's added some really cool elements, though. He's got a cool style, and he actually makes the bass fit in all the voids that need to be there. And there's like some even like solo-y bass parts, but it's not overdone. It's really tasteful. His vocal harmonies are on point, so I think it really adds a cool element to everything.
I appreciate that. I really do. Thank you. Thank you. No, I really do. Thank you.
So we kind of took our time with this album. The big thing with us is a lot of bands go out and play a bunch of shows and gather a following, and then gain a following and then release an album. And we really did want to take a different approach. None of us at this stage of our playing, of our careers, of our lives, really want to do the grind of playing in front of 10 people this weekend, 12 people the next weekend, 14 people the next weekend. Exactly. I did that grind a few times now. You've done it a few times. You've done it several times.
I've done it.
I'd still be okay with that if we had to.
Yeah, but what our goal was that we were going to do. Put together a band, put together an album, have it be a great album that with great songs on it and no filler, and then use that to gain a following. So then when we start playing shows, there would be a following. So we do plan on having a release party coming up here as soon as the album is in our hands. The album is recorded, it's done, it's sounds pretty good, and it's my favorite album. It's
Yep, it's in production. We got the bus ready. The driver is on board. We just have to pick which bunks we want.
Yeah, actually, this week I'm working on the cover, inside cover art, and just kind of getting packaging ready. So this video was just to kind of meet the band and know what we're about, and know who this, the face of the band is.
I'm sorry, who are you?
And we look forward to putting out a whole bunch more videos, and obviously our album, and playing some shows, and becoming your favorite band.
Thank you for joining Destroy the Planet TV. We'll catch you next time.